Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation, with an update of a very mysterious and interesting complex case. 2 tons of silver eagles remain missing today, yet we've seen another arrest made in this fraud case. So let's explore. You may remember I posted 2 stories about this and keeping up with this case, and we've seen another development with the arrest made, but there still seems to be a mystery of missing coins, silver eagles presumably, 2 tons worth. Indeed, and this is the home where they were stored. Let's take a look at this story here from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. One of the men who was found guilty in a $13 million international fraud case with victims in South Dakota has been caught and will be extradited to Sioux Falls. But there's also victims all across the nation as well. John Weiner of New Mexico became a fugitive after failing to appear in federal court for his scheduled sentencing in February. And you may remember I did a video showing that Nathan Peachy, the supposed pastor, was caught, and definitely a narcissist, but Weiner and Nathan Peachy are the 2 defendants in the case who sold investors on humanitarian projects but kept the money for themselves. Weiner claims the court doesn't have jurisdiction over him. Weiner has filed long letters with the court claiming he is sovereign and doesn't have to follow federal rules. In Weiner's latest letter to the court, he explained why he failed to show up February 14th, and this is what this document is here, and a strange reasoning here. But in the end, basically, he says he needs to man up. And then further in the letter, not shown in this particular section here, Weiner was recently apprehended in New Mexico, and the U.S. Marshal Service will transport him to Sioux Falls, where new sentencing hearing will be scheduled. Now, and there's a video here that talks about these silver eagles, and it's pretty interesting. I'll post a link to this story in the description below so you can see this special report that sums it up, or you can watch the previous videos I posted on this, but very interesting indeed. Again, what all led to an international scheme that has led authorities and investigators and the media in Norway to cover this story to travel to South Dakota to do further investigations. But this is the house that was bought. They wanted to create their own autonomous zone, own sovereign territory, a micronation, if you will, protected from federal government here in the United States and conceivably in Norway as well from being prosecuted. You know, it's a pretty complex scheme that involved a third party who remains at large, and that's Frederick Arias. He's the last one, although there has been another person who recently was deceased. His wife in Norway is under investigation and is under arrest, I believe, as well, too. This is the last individual that needs to be brought to justice, indeed. But apparently he escaped up into Canada. But what is the story about these missing silver eagles? 2 tons worth of silver eagles that the video states was worth about $1 million, but that's actually a pretty low figure. That was probably based off of around $22, $23 an ounce silver. Of course, silver eagles being what they are, there's quite a bit of a premium. That's a huge chunk of change and an even larger chunk of metal, 2 tons worth. That is over 64,200 ounces. Crazy to think about how many monster boxes that would be. Apparently, according to the video, the people say that it was stolen out of the home. My guess is that's going to be quite a bit of investigatory work to find out if that's really the case. Did they have security cameras there? Who knows? My guess is they think it's somewhere in Oslo, Norway, those coins. We shall see. It'll be very interesting to find out if they can recover those. The ones that were recovered, $2.7 million worth of silver eagles in monster boxes that you can see from this screen grab from the photo, but also seen even more clearly here, stacked up all of these, hundreds of these monster boxes. Man, crazy. 500 ounces of coins in each one of those monster boxes, by the way. And to all those coins, including this home, will be sold off and money will be paid back to the victims. One of the victims in this case from Arizona, who trusted another individual who pleaded guilty and his license was taken away, was an investor that had gained the trust of this individual for years, worked in collusion with the individual, Peachy and Weiner, to get this money. He has only been paid $60 in restitution so far and is owed a whole lot more, obviously. I think his investment was $1.3 million. And it was money that was supposedly used for this front as a Christian charity to create and convert these homes from storage containers in the Caribbean. Obviously, that never materialized. All that money was taken and utilized to enrich themselves, and they were hiding their money outside of the system by using Silver Eagles, which is actually a good way to do it, but not the most efficient way. They really wanted to do it right. They could have gotten gold eagles. Would have been a much better way, but maybe it would have raised some red flags, and maybe that's why they did silver eagles, because they could buy fewer of them at a time without raising red flags. I don't know. I guess that would make sense. Maybe get a certain amount of them over a certain amount of time from different dealers, maybe. But I still think they could do the same thing with gold and hide it much easier. But who knows what their reasoning is behind it. Nonetheless, those eagles have been seized, but 2 tons remain at large. The mystery kind of deepens. The investigation continues because of the international nature of the case. There's a lot more that needs to be found out. So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. And the Silver Eagle and making news, and a lot of them missing, and all of them are apparently in Norway right now, in Oslo, Norway, the capital city. We'll see how it plays out. An interesting and fascinating story. Let me know what your thoughts are on this as the mystery deepens and gets further along with the arrest made in this case. Fascinating indeed. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.